One human trait that drives us all crazy is being left in the dark. Yesterday, I was talking about what's going on in New Jersey, on the East Coast, other places as well, with these drones. And I got a lot of interesting comments, so I wanted to talk about that today, go over some of these theories, because apparently our governments are leaving us all in the dark. And these events are happening in the dark. Now, one person commented that these could be our own U.S. drones, and they are searching for a nuclear threat. I guess that would be a possibility. They're using technology that we've never seen. Not to this degree, anyway. But what gets me is I've seen so many different images of these so-called drones, and they're not all the same. Some of them look like small jets, aircraft. They even sound like a jet going above you at a slow speed. Other ones sound like drones, like the small drone like I have. And it just, to me, that kind of looked ridiculous. What if they're none of the above? What if they are from another place? It is not too hard to assume that they could project any image they want us to see underneath their craft, right? We have the capability to do that. If in fact they are our aircraft, we could do that as well. If they were an aircraft that we had never shown the public, you could project an image on the bottom of that aircraft to mimic lights, to mimic the shape of an aircraft, a jet, or whatever else you wanted to do. You could also project false sounds to make it sound like a jet, to make it sound like a drone. Personally, I mean, I just don't know what they are. And, you know, I have flown planes. You know, I was a pilot. So to see something going on like this, you know, it was the same with 9/11. You just knew, a pilot knew when he saw that. I watched that from an airport lounge because I was flying in the air when that happened, when those events took place. I was in the air as a student pilot, and I was ordered down by the FAA. So I'm wondering now why they're allowing these things to just fly through our airspace, restricted airspace at that. I mean, they're flying over very sensitive areas, a military base for one, also a golf course owned by President Trump. And then I guess today they're going to be in Maryland for a football game. So I'm kind of watching to see if anything goes on there. But they are picking the most populated area in the United States, and that is the New Jersey, New York area. There is more population in that area than anywhere else in the United States. So why they are making it seem like it's not a concern, that bothers me, because it should be a concern. You've got millions of people right below you. You've got aircraft that are flying at 400 or 500 feet, which is, a plane this size, which is a Piper, a single engine Piper. You can't go below 500 feet. And most drones, hobbyist drones, they are not allowed to go above 400 feet. And there's a reason for that. You do not want drones in air traffic of any aircraft, helicopters, jets, private airplanes. Yet these things are at all different levels. And there's pilots seeing these things in other areas that go all the way up to 60,000 feet in altitude. And pilots are trained. That is one thing you learn when you're flying a plane. You're trained to observe. the plane flies by instruments. You mostly fly by instruments, but you do have to keep an eye out. There wouldn't be windows in a jet if they weren't necessary. You do have to keep your eye peeled for other aircraft in the area. And when you do spot one, you keep your eye on it. And I think they've restricted civilian air traffic, I don't know, around this area where these objects are being spotted. That's what I'm calling them, objects. Because nobody can tell us what they are. And I'm still sticking to my belief that they know what they are. And they don't want us to know what they are. Or they don't want another country to know what they are. I don't know. Because I would think if we knew they were from another country or even another world, that they wouldn't allow this. So the government has to have some sort of knowledge of what's going on. I'm getting sick of hearing that they pose no threat, but in the same breath, they don't know what they are. Well, you can't, those two statements don't go together. If you don't know what they are, you don't know it's a threat. I could put a dress on a Tasmanian devil and put a wig on it, and it doesn't look like it's threatening, but you don't want it coming after you, right? Same thing. So they're lying to us. We know that. They lie to us all the time. They've always lied to us. But I think something could be going on where they were forced to use these, whether it's sniffing out a nuclear threat. I don't know. But they certainly did not have an alibi prepared. Something has happened, if they are indeed ours. Something has happened that is a threat that they feel if they were to inform the citizens, it would cause a massive panic, and it would. But I think other things could be done. If there was a threatening situation, other things could be coordinated a lot better on the ground. If there was a situation that people were in danger, you certainly don't want something happening and you did not inform the population of a possible threat. Or these things are from somewhere else, and our government already knows, and I said this in yesterday's podcast, our government already knows we are no match. And they don't want to intimidate them. And maybe they don't know what they're doing. But even in that situation, I was also in the military. You don't let that happen. Even if you're going to lose every man you have, you got to fight them. You got to defend your homeland. And we're not doing that. But that leads me to believe more than anything that they are man-made. They are ours. And for some reason, they don't want us to know what they are or what they're doing. But it's night after night after night. You can't tell me they can't follow these things and find out where they are going. Now, there's a lot of reports that they're coming out of the ocean. Well, I don't know of any technology that we have. Of course, I have not been in the military in 40 years. But I don't know of any technology we have currently where things can come out of the water and fly in the way that they are. Now, there was one video that shown 9 of these drones, and 3 of them were lined up. They were lined up in rows of 3. And at the bottom of the row, the middle one would drop to the ocean. And soon after it started falling, the other 2 would fall till they hit the ocean. And then the next row would do the same thing in a formation like the military would do. Military has a formation for everything they do, whether it's on the ground with troops or in the air. If there are groups of airplanes, jets, they are usually in formation. So they're doing this in a military style. But where are they going under the water? And it shows them, if you zoom in, you can see them hitting the water, or it looks like they're hitting the water. They kind of disappear quickly. Nobody can seem to get a clear image of these. There was a guy that used a DSL camera with a powerful zoom lens. And when he zoomed in, it was just like a glowing blob, like they were jamming the signal. They don't want you to see them, which is weird. We do have capabilities of that. People are sending drones up, regular drones like I own, and the batteries die instantly. That's some pretty high tech if you got something that can just drain the batteries. But I'm sure we do have, I know we have, I think it's called Orcus, where they can drop any drone in the area with a signal. So I don't know about draining the batteries, but that's what's happening. And nobody has been able to get a clear shot of this. They are making sure you don't get to see what it really is. And as I said, I believe if they are not ours, or even if they are ours, they are projecting a false image. That's why they're doing this at night. Because at night you can project, LED bulbs, millions of them they have on this, project an LED image with flashing lights would be very simple to do on a larger aircraft that they don't want you to see. Also, these things are exhibiting behaviors that we just don't have anything like that. I've seen images of them over New Jersey, videos, and you don't never know if these videos are made just to get views. They're false. There's a lot of talented people out there that have the capability to make videos of fake things, and we watch those all the time. AI can create these very quickly, but some of these are very realistic, and you have to, during the day of such a video, you could look at shadows. You could tell if they're not well made, that they are not real. And some of these that are showing these UFOs that are really clear and flying over a city, you can clearly tell they're not real. They look like they were made in Hollywood. And there's a lot of people that have that ability to do that. And AI is making that even more possible. But I don't know how long can they keep playing this off like this. Somebody is going to do something dumb. Sooner, I can't believe somebody has not tried to go into their own personal stock and grab a pew-pew and fire at it. Or maybe they have, and it doesn't do any good. But it's just weird, and they're hiding something from us. They know something. They know something that they're not telling us. And even if they really didn't know what they are, they know more than they're telling. And I'm going to keep making videos like this, podcasts like this, and a lot of other people are too. It's saturating YouTube right now. And I have noticed that I don't know. I had yesterday's podcast. All of a sudden this morning, I got a big surge in views. And then bam, it just stopped, which is kind of normal for YouTube. But there are videos out there that are getting a lot of views. And I don't know what the criteria is to get those. But I'm going to keep talking about it. Not every podcast, but it's kind of curious. I'm kind of curious to follow this and see where it leads. A lot of different people have a lot of different ideas about what this is. I am nowhere near New Jersey. I am in the middle of the country around mountains. I haven't seen anything. It's raining today. Not going to see nothing. But there's always seemed to be something going on somewhere in the world, seeing things in the air that just are not normal. But now it's getting to be a lot more frequent. So let me know what you think. Maybe we'll talk about this again tomorrow. Let me know. There's some interesting comments coming about. So I'm curious to hear what you think they are. And do you think the government is well aware of what they are. Do you believe in aliens? I'm tending to believe that it's us. I'm not saying I don't believe in UFOs from other worlds or other dimensions, but I think this is government created, man created, until they do something that proves otherwise. Because right now they're acting like, typical government stuff. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.